Not when you talk, asshole.
Hail to Adam AF, the best comics day show Saturday mornings, Arch City Comics. Great show, topical stuff.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is the Weekend Woke-Up Call. Good morning, Comicsgate. Welcome to the world-famous Arch City Comics. I am Adam AF. How the hell y'all doing this morning? Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-host from Canada, Mr. Simon Poultier.
Good morning, CG.
Good morning. Also, of course, joining us, we have the wonderful team from SKITS Comic, Michael and Carshénah.
And it's
Bringing the energy.
Now, man, you got her name wrong.
Dude, you're in trouble now. You're in trouble.
I made it an entire 60 seconds without fucking something up. That's how I like to do it. We also joined by Drew Ish. Good morning, Drew from the West Coast. Are you awake?
I don't know.
No, he is not.
Good morning.
There he is.
Best avatar ever. He's like,
I know. I love that avatar. That's fucking great.
See, he was making fun of me the other day because I didn't wake up.
Yes. Yeah. Last weekend, Sim slept through the show and Drew was here. And we were, of course, giving Sim shit. Now Sim is here and Drew is, well, his body is here. I don't know if his mind has arrived yet.
I'm Zombie Drew.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you guys can.
Yep.
You're a little low. Oof.
Am I a little low?
There. Now we're getting better.
I can since I have my I can. How's that? Does that work?
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, you're doing good.
Yeah.
I'm hard of hearing anyway, so you need to crank it up, man.
Yeah, I'm deaf from all the death metal music, man. It's hell on the eardrums.
I'm actually
baby
deaf.
metal.
I'm deaf from actually playing on the road and not wearing earplugs like an idiot.
Because you were a real rock star, man.
Well, yeah, that was a long time ago, though.
Well, once a rock star, always a rock star in my mind.
Did you ever say, I want to rock? Did you ever?
Sadly, yes, because we covered that song.
Yes. How did I know that? How did I know that?
Hail to the chat this morning. Thank you all for joining us on this early Saturday morning. We, of course, have the one and only Kino Subway. Hail, brother. We've got Bogdan Digital Art. The Mogwai Centurion is here. Hail. We have Lothar D. We got El Guapo immediately flagging this for istophobia. Well, that's probably accurate, actually. I'll let that one slide. We also got Mitchell in the chat. Hail. We got Rotten Glory as well. Says, so hungover, but it was totally worth it. Yes, we had a great time last night on the Atomic Deuce, but apparently the deuce was struck by the YouTube gods for some reason or another. I'm not sure. I left 2.5 hours into the stream, so you guys must have got up to some naughty business after I left.
Naughty children. Naughty.
What the hell y'all in here, man?
Let's see. We got George Peter Gatsis is also here. Hail George. He was on here with us last week. Great guy. Make sure you give him a follow if you're not following him on the Twitters. He's got a lot of good things to say. A lot of awesome things to contribute to the movement as well. He does like 3D modeling and he does great videos and all kinds of cool shit.
Nice.
And his comic book has like multiple layers. So it's like one of those ones you can read over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and then hope you figured it out by then.
Nice.
Yeah, he is what I would call a writer spurg, and he spurgs out through his entire book, and it's incredible. I love it. El Guapo says, "My life is a nightmare at this moment. I just want to peel this orange, but my knife went into another dimension, I guess." Hail Mitchell. Well, that's use your teeth like a man. Just rip into it. Let's see. We also have Zevius. Good morning, fellow kids.
You're assuming he has teeth.
Stop telling people what to do. You can't tell a guy like Terry to stop typing.
That's
or a
just
guy
like your
Rob
opinion,
to
man.
stop liking and retweeting.
Well, there I go. There's my second fuck up of the day. Now I'm telling people what to do. Speaking of telling people what to do, please like and share this stream out for everybody to see. Let's get some eyes in here. Look at this. We got Wiggle Wiggle. Just found out about this channel. Hail Wiggle Wiggle. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the villain team. We hope to keep you entertained.
We love you, Wiggle Wiggle.
I got some wiggles right now, but you can't see.
Jeez, Jiminy.
It's a little early in the morning for that, ain't it?
A little bit.
I don't know.
Well, wiggle. Thank you, Sam. Wiggle it. Just thank you very much. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Well, this is going to be an interesting stream. I can already tell you that.
Right?
We got a last man in the chat.
Sure, guy. Come on.
We got Sigma Centurion in the
We're
chat as
waking
well.
up.
Hail, guys.
Boosted of caffeine. Java.
Oh, yeah.
Java.
Guapo says, "You call at my manliness, I shall find you." Come at me, bro.
Bring your
Come
card.
at me, bro. I'm right
Bring your
here.
card.
I want to get people nice and triggered right off the bat. So let's dive right into this first article that I have pulled from the ether. This one I had to read it twice because I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was one of those joke articles, but in doing some research, no, it's real. It is 100% real. My 15-year-old transgender son is going through menopause, and I'm so proud of him.
What?
Yep, just let that sink in for a moment.
No, I don't have to because I'm the only one on this panel that will actually go through menopause. Thank you. So I will actually not let that sink in. First of all, if I may,
Please.
Triggered.
Yeah. First of all, if mom is supporting her transgender son, which would that still be a new name for him or her? I'm not too sure what the explicatives would be, but if mom is supporting this, kudos to you, mom. However, mom looks like she's already been through menopause and she already knows those night sweats are not where it's at. And if she's applauding for her child to be going through a rough time, then that in itself, I have a problem with it. You're supposed to be boosting your child, supporting your child. That's great. But if you're like, yay, my child is going to get sick. Yay, my child's going to get night sweats. Yay, my child doesn't know what's going on in the world, with their body. Then I have a problem with that. I'm sorry. I just have a problem.
I'm all about fantasy, but,
Not just that. It's just, just the point of child and menopause.
Yeah, no, you know what gets me about all this crap? This stuff really drives me crazy is there's actually doctors out there that are assigning hormone treatments to small children who don't physically need hormone treatments.
No, they don't.
Healthy young adults.
Just because they're taught to hate themselves and all.
It's just one of the. It says Air Canada, so they're Canadian. We found out where they are. They're Canadian, so
starting to make a little bit more sense now.
I thought this was in Florida.
Nope, not Florida.
Stop.
Hey, I told you. Remember, I told you that they were doing that shit here, the hormone thing.
Yeah.
So reading this here, it says, my 15-year-old son started feeling nauseous and a bit off a couple weeks ago. He skipped dinner and headed to bed early, but the next morning, he still wasn't himself. The nausea had lifted, but it was replaced with sweats and hot flashes. It couldn't have been something he ate because we'd all been eating the same food, and it would be bizarre if he caught anything because my house has been on a pretty strict lockdown for weeks due to the beer virus pandemic. not going to say that word out loud. Don't strike me, bots.
So you tell me that the kid has anxiety and they're celebrating that he has menopause?
Yeah, he's a 15-year-old.
Well, welcome
kid
to
who's got
anxiety, dickhead.
And he's locked inside right now all the time with his parents.
And maybe he's getting hot flashes because maybe those bills aren't paid because you ain't got. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, they don't look like it, but I'm just saying it's a rough time for everybody. So I mean,
it might be also in the hormone changer. Just saying.
Yeah.
So mom here,
I've known some people doing those hormonal things, and they kind of get moody. And
here's the question: where's Dad?
He's writing the article. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no,
he's writing the article. What's wrong with you?
Probably a single mom or something.
That's a good one.
Not mentioned.
So it says that it was when we started Googling the symptoms that the penny dropped. My son was going through menopause.
Oh, it's Google.
Oh,
examination.
Yeah, self-examination.
WebMD is ripe right now. It's ripe. WebMD is ripe.
Go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised if you get on WebMD, pretty much any symptoms usually lead to cancer.
Dude, I'm not high.
That's not true. That's not true.
So what did you say, Sim? You're not high enough for this right now?
No, I'm not.
Smoke another blunt then, bro.
Too early in the morning.
Spark it.
A week or so earlier, we'd attended our local gender clinic where my son has been a patient for the past couple of years. Born a girl, but knowing from a young age that inside he definitely wasn't a girl. He's been gradually transitioning to the gender he's clearly identified with since he was 12 years old. Children younger than 16 aren't legally able to start medically transitioning, but they can take puberty blockers, drugs that temporarily stop puberty in its tracks. After years of living as a boy, my son was ready to take this step until he can start taking testosterone when he turns 16.
Well, I you know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say. That's too crude and crass.
This would be the time for that.
I was going to say what I was going to say, and any girl can take testosterone.
Yeah, it's just female steroids.
I was making a bad sexy joke, but okay.
No, yeah, that's true.
It was bad.
Yeah, I think that flew over my head.
Yeah.
Wiggle says, all I see here is a white liberal brainwashing her daughter.
Yeah, I mean, well, all I'm seeing right now is children, 16-year-old, menopause, hormone blockers, and everything just sounds the fuck wrong.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things where, I mean,
I'm sorry, you can't fucking drink in the States at 21. In Canada, you can drink at 18. You can't smoke before 21. But you can go get, stoned.
Well, it's with the parents'
You can
consent.
drink in the club. And at 16, you can fucking force a kid to... No.
It's with the parents' consent. And so clearly his
it's
parents
not just
are...
consent. It's also considered... You can mentally groom, like the way of talking right now, it's groomed. But the thing is, you can mentally direct a kid into this at that young age until somebody discovers their freaking life at 16, 17, 18 and start experimenting. Then fucking make a decision if you're not happy.
I do think that somebody in their early teens
they're not even fully developed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
21, 22 is when the female mind completely develops. For men, I think it's about 50 or something like that. So, yeah, I mean,
we do mature faster. We do mature faster, so it actually can happen.
Well, I think it's about 26.
You know that's a myth.
But let's be all serious though. I mean, if a female girl, and they're out there, if a child of young age can have a kid as young as 10 and or as 13, then they are developed. So I mean that, and it does come on pretty on set. I mean, back in my heyday, you didn't develop until it was the actual normal developing incubator time. You know what I mean, Professor X, but. Nowadays, a lot of young females are having, and unfortunately their hormones are raging at that point where if their body can change at 10, 12, 13 and have a child for after sex and all stuff like that, then yeah, their bodies have been fully developed. Now, whether we like it or not, and whether it's appropriate or not, that's not up to us. But if their bodies have developed to make an actual child,
I have
then
a
you are
12-year-old.
fully developed.
I have a 12 and a 15-year-old girl here, and they are developing. And not because they're starting to have their period means that their body's ready. Not because you can, that it means that they're mentally.
I was going to say, I think
growing.
it's a case of
it's
are
not,
these
it's not
kids
just, yeah,
mentally developed enough to make this kind of decision on
No,
their
right.
own?
But now you're getting into a body versus the mind. And if your body is developed, but your mind is not, then that becomes a slippery slope. But
Yeah.
science has proven your body is ready. Your mind is not.
Then a boy can impregnate starting at 10 or 11.
Yeah, but
Again.
that might have a lot to do with the hormones that they're pumping into chicken and stuff like that. That's probably why they're developing so early these days.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy foods that I mean, we didn't
there's
have
a lot of
when we were
hormones.
younger.
The thing is, the society is pushing a lot the sexual maturity on everybody, and it's no emotional maturity.
Correct.
This has begun started to begin to be like a myth now. It's like what's maturity?
Yeah.
Right. Which is why I said
still
there's
looking
a
for it.
clear line between the body development versus the mind development. And unfortunately, they're not always in a symbiotic state.
Yeah,
they're
but it's
not
like,
always the same thing.
Yeah, but it's like reproduction and your body finishing growing and changing, and this it's been proven that like Skid was saying there, till like 21, girls and guys are still growing, are still changing.
Yeah, I guess scientifically the mind of a female gets fully developed at about 21, 22 of age, and for men it's about 26, 27.
Since being a Mensa member, I was fully developed in my mind.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, Lord.
I am a Mensa member. Thanks very much. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, been there.
Well, we triggered Guapo. He says, I'm menopausal right now, and you're marginalizing me. Seriously, this world is a circus tent.
He's
Sorry,
pitching
Guapo.
tents this early in the morning.
I mean, I told you I was going to start it off with trying to get everybody triggered. So at least I'm halfway there. We've got a couple triggered.
Well, we came to the party all excited and everything. You didn't have to trigger us. We brought the energy immediately. Man, we're just like, right immediately.
Well, yeah, you guys came into the pre-show just like bouncing off the walls. I was like, shit, you guys are in an enclosed space. You're streaming from the truck.
We call it mobile unit. Thank you.
I'm sorry, mobile unit. I want to make sure that we're PC about the space that you're in.
We're tactical because if there's any zombies walking around, we got a truck to ride over. So we're tactical. Tactical and practical.
Damn, I'm hitting you guys up when this apocalypse actually kicks off.
I got a big shopping mall in like 10 minutes from my house.
There you go.
Nice.
Is that where you're headed in the apocalypse, Sim? You're gonna
dude. Remember that video we're checking with the when that lady went into the store?
Yeah.
That's a huge fucking shopping center in the shape of an X. We're taking over, bro.
Oh, that's right. I forgot when we played that. You were like, "This is down the street from my house."
Yeah, it's a huge shopping center, and it's all in the shape of an X, and you got everything in there. So you guys need to come join me here.
Well,
yeah, like we're gonna make that trip.
Yeah, that's where everyone's going to be. We want to be where everyone's not going to be, which is pretty much where we're at. That's why we're in the mobile unit, because where we're at, we can't even get anything.
You're aware that's a myth. That's where they're all going to end up first.
Horror films.
Apparently, Wiggle Wiggle is landlocked. I'm surrounded by lakes. I think I'm good.
Yeah, it's like Montreal's an island.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very good with geography, dude.
Yeah, Montreal's an island.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So we can just have all the zombies stay in Montreal then.
But that's where they are, aren't they?
Oh.
They're already there.
You play nice, boys. Play nice.
We're trying to.
Hey, it doesn't bother me. Look whose ego got struck here. I don't have to prove anything. We're the Great White. Bitches.
There's hope. There's hope. There's hope.
I'm used to this.
You're
so
awesome.
continuing on this this triggering
Wait,
track
before you
that we're
before you go
riding down.
before you go on, I want to like laugh about something.
Okay.
Like these days, we have to use two words to identify a gender now when we didn't always have to. I noticed that that the words female, girl were used together, which makes sense these days. It's not just like an over speech pattern. I mean, you actually have to identify like what gender they were when they were born and what gender they claim to be now. That's so weird. It's like female boy, female girl, male boy. It's really kind of just twisted.
Hey, it doesn't exist, but please give it to me anyways. Makes no sense. Like there's no gender. There's no girls. There's nothing to be a guy. Okay, but now I'm that, and then I'm this, and maybe sometimes I'm gonna be that thing over there. But those don't exist.
It is weird. Well, I am a male boy.
You said I'm a male boy.
I had to think about it for a second. I am a male boy.
Remember my answer I gave those Antifa JWs last time? Like, dude, don't assume in gender. I'm a single father. I also played a single mother. But I'm a raging dyke because I'm a lesbian. I do not sleep with men. And yeah.
Well, that is
boy.
Yeah, boy.
When you say it like that, it makes it sound like your penis doesn't work. Just saying.
Power dyke. Got it? No.
Kino Subway says, I need to take a vacation this year or the next to the Great North to visit Sim.
Hell yeah, bro.
They're coming for you, Sim.
Dude, they're trying to get me to move over to the States, and they all want to come visit me. They're my brothers.
I just want you to be closer, damn it.
I always say it's
10 hours is too far.
That's one of the things I think is stupid is like we're supposed to be like, their favorite cousins. We're not supposed to be this like before 9/11, we could just cross the fucking border with no fucking issue and send somebody's like I could send you mail just paying an extra $2. God damn it. Now it costs me $22 to send you something.
22. Ooh.
Jeez.
Yeah, that Canadian shipping rate is ridiculous.
Just drive it across the border and ship it from the U.S.
He doesn't have a car.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sim.
He's got them all though.
No, dude. Even if I wanted to drive over the border, you do need an American address to ship it.
Go to the mall and send it inter-office mail.
Well, you could set up a PO box.
Great. Go to the mall and send it inter-office mail. It works.
Or just set up a PO box at your local post office. They're only like $40 for the year or something like that.
You can actually set up a PO box in the United States on the internet. You don't even have to be in person.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shit, Sam, there
Look
you
at this
go.
knowledge we dropping. Boom! Look at that.
We don't even have a mailbox at our house. We just go straight up PO box.
Yeah, but how the hell am I getting to the PO box in the States then?
You don't.
I don't know.
You have it set. You have it set with a
sense.
forwarder. It has a forwarder.
Mm-hmm.
I actually lived in a town a couple years ago, kind of outside the city, and we didn't have mailboxes. Everything went to the PO box at the post office.
Mm-hmm. That's crumbling right now. So
that's true. Wiggle Wiggle identifies as a caterpillar. Understandable.
Nice.
Forever be a butterfly. Right?
Yep. Forever changing.
Yeah. Yes. So when you transition to a butterfly, please let us know. I'd love to have a live transition on the show. We got Joseph King in the chat. Says, "You crazy? What the fuck am I hearing, Sim?" We got Vilnet in the chat as well. Good morning. Thank you all for joining us this wonderful, wonderful morning. I know there's apparently somebody is streaming over me on this Saturday morning, which is completely uncalled for. This is my time slot. Get the fuck off.
Oh.
Who is this?
Yeah, who's streaming?
I don't know. Somebody.
No.
It's not
Anyway.
Look, I was like, oh,
yeah, don't say their name.
Child.
Anyway, continuing on. So this wonderful mom here, she says, I see a lot of debate in the public domain, which is what we're doing now here, I guess, about whether kids should have all of these choices about their gender and what it's doing to them. But I can only comment on my own child and his experience, where he was once depressed, disengaged, and, as doctors put it, ambivalent about living. He is now happy, comfortable in his own skin, and optimistic about his future. Why would anyone deny him that? As a parent, It's been a massive adjustment from having a pony-loving, curly-haired daughter to the masculine young man that lives, she's missing a word there, that lives in my house and towers over me. But what I know about parenting is that I'm just the custodian to these children living in my home. I'm here to love them and do what I can to help them to grow into whoever they know themselves to be.
I mean, parents are custodians. I mean, we literally, I mean, it's a custody to make sure that you do this, you do that, you do this.
You're supposed to guide them in the right direction, not inhibit or succumb to their fantasy whims.
No, they're janitors. Parents are janitors. They clean up after you.
Yeah, but one of the things is, you're supposed, like you're saying, you're supposed to guide them into the direction, into trusting themselves, having confidence in themselves, liking themselves for who they are, and they have to face the getting called fat, getting called ugly, getting this, getting that, and you're like, you have to teach them to pull through this shit. It's like, hey, that guy's being he's being a cunt. Well, he's just being a dick, type of thing.
I mean,
what happened to it? It's like. Yeah. Then after that, live your life, discover who you are.
Yeah, kids these days, kids are like so protected by, like law and just like that. Parents are afraid to like discipline properly. And then everybody's like so socially like controlling on how, it's wrong to do this or wrong to do that. When I was growing up, it was totally different. I mean, it like say if a little boy wanted to wear a dress, he's likely, unless he's like playing dress up with his sister or something, he's likely to get smacked down, and he's probably likely to get smacked down even if he's playing dress up with his sister.
I played dress up with my mom's clothes as a kid, and I turned out fine. Ish.
Yeah, I mean, there really was a time. Yeah,
well, I think you just proved their point.
Kids did that. Boys did that, especially if they were a single mom and they had a kid, and especially if it was a male child and they just start doing this. It wasn't like an everyday Saturday morning cartoon dress up, but it was more like, oh, get out of those clothes, Roger, get okay. They just discovering, they're finding stuff, and they're just curious, like, why do I have these, and why do you have, it's just curiosity.
What happened to accept yourself and explore and have fun? What happened to, dude, I grew up with, there was gays, there was transvestite, there's all type of thing, guys, dude. What happened to just be yourself? Being a man doesn't mean it. It goes from being a macho man to effeminate man, and you're still straight. Some gay guys are very effeminate, but a lot of them are fucking macho as fuck.
Machos.
He's got a point.
Yeah, they're all YMCA macho.
Yeah, it's like, come on, it's like you see a guy, he's a fucking lumberjack. You're like, hey, that guy looks manly as fuck. Yeah, but he wants to fuck a bloke.
Yeah, well, fuck you in the ass.
I'm a lumberjack, and that's okay. I'll sleep all night and I work all day. I'm a lumberjack. Come on, y'all know that song.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna sing it.
He dances on the piece of lumber. Yeah, no, yeah.
See you, El Guapo. Thanks for tuning in and getting triggered with us. I got your crack rocks in the mail. You should be receiving them shortly.
Oh, Guapo.
I like what Elaz here says. When I was a kid, my hardest choices to make was watching G.I. Joe or He-Man.
I know, right?
Right?
You were watching
don't lie. There was some of those gem and the holograms there that you were tempted
It's gem and the holograms. Thank you, Synergy. Yes, that was one of my favorites. Thank you very much. Let's get these names right, Synergy.
It was like 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock when it was time to go outside and start playing with your friends.
Because you have to admit the boys were tempted because they were sexy and cute as hell, even though their show was boring as fuck.
But you also have to remember now, I personally grew up as a tomboy, and those were the other things that were put on girls who didn't like the curly hair ponies. I mean, I did have a pony, but I mean, because I grew up like that. But like, I like that. I had, this, but I also grew up watching He-Man and G.I. Joe, Transformers, Gem and the Holograms, Care Bears, Gummy Bears. I mean, all those things.
Yeah, I passed on the Care Bears myself.
Exactly, bouncing everywhere. But it's just like one of those things. It's like, now that was like the only thing, the stigma that they put on females when I was growing up, is because, oh wow, she's also liking like Transformers and things. I was like, well, because it was cool. It's like, it was actually awesome. I like this, and I also like that. But that was the only stigma that they placed on that. And the only other stigma growing up they put on boys was, you can't have this and you can't have that. But for girls, they're like, oh, she's just a tomboy and, you know, she's fine. And that's about it. But nowadays, it's becoming the plight of, well, you can't have this because now you're going to be identified as this. And it's like, no, if I like this, then that's what I like. It's just as simple as that. So I don't know what happened between that.
My main problem right now is the fact that kids with of young age, until they fucking learn to live their own life, they still live by approval of their parent. You want your parent to love you, and you're willing to do a whole bunch of stupid shit to get that attention and love.
I don't think kids should be able to make decisions for themselves until they can take care of themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the thing is, it really is a parent's job to, you know, guide your child into life success. That is in all areas of life.
And
It's
a parent should
financial.
not be allowed to make such a strong decision for a kid neither.
But you're also putting out the other percentage that didn't have parents or parents that were not willing to take care of their children. So they had to become the parent themselves. So we don't want to discredit that for those kids who had to.
Yeah, like me. I was living on my own at 15 exactly for something.
And some even earlier. I mean, that's why some of these foster programs still exist, because I mean, there's a lot of parents that are not, like we were mentioning earlier, that didn't have the mind and or they didn't have the ability to take care. So, you know, again, it's a delicate balance of having parents to nurture and guide you versus is a delicate balance of getting away from parents who didn't even want to have anything with you. You know what I mean? So it just becomes how you grew up in your environment, and also what did your village do? Because they always say it takes a village. Well, what did your village do? What they do? Did they run? They run from you? What happened?
We just need more spanking. That's all we need.
Did your village chase you with pitchforks and torches?
Right, exactly, pitchforks.
Like I told one of my kids one day, it's like, you know, don't forget, you know, we can't beat you, but we can give you a headbutt. like my older kid one day came to my head, you know, wanted to stand up to die, and I just like, seriously, yeah, and just a headbutt. He looked at me. Oh, okay, I'm done.
Wiggle says, for me it was Exo Squad, but I rarely met anyone that's heard of it. The Exo Squad toy line was fucking amazing.
You have friends, Wiggle. We're in that generation. Friends here who have heard of it.
Yeah. And Joseph King says Exo Squad was badass. Celeste says my friend was a huge Exo Squad fan. Yeah, man. You, I guess you just need better friends.
Yeah,
hang out with us. We are like-minded individuals here.
How many times do we just go in a fucking divert and just freaking talk about Transformers
all the time?
Yep.
Especially if you have Nick around here, we start talking about Transformers, and it's not a joke.
Fckhead says, when I was a kid, I used to play with cute girl dolls. As an adult, I still play with boobs.
Gotta love Captain.
Hail, Fckhead.
Oh, countrytize me, Captain.
We have our comrade Commie Mark in the chat, spamming everybody's name. Hail, Commie Mark. Hail, Adam. Hail, Sim. Hail, Drew. Hail, Skits.
Hey.
Hail, Mark.
Hey,
what's up, brother?
Love you, bro. Man. Good morning to you. Or, well, good afternoon to you.
The Commie is in town.
I have one thing to say. It is by caffeine alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the beans of Java that thought acquires speed. The hand acquires shaking. The shaking becomes a warning. It is by caffeine alone that I set my mind in motion. Good morning.
Awesome.
That was beautiful. Did you write that?
No, it's the fucking Dune mantra.
I was like, what the fuck?
Not this year's Dune.
No, it's the classic Dune, yeah. It's the spice mantra, yeah. But with the caffeine.
The spice must flow.
Yeah. The caffeine
so let's take a brief commercial break here and talk some skits.
Whoa. Let's do it.
That was right on cue. So we've got some interesting and new things coming out of skits right now. As you know, Michael Siegenthaler, our illustrator and creator of skits, writer, and I'm editor. We've got some new art to show. We've been showing up some new things on our Twitters. As right there, Skits Comic.
We've been doing stuff almost daily, showing new work, penciling and stuff like that, showing out panels. Did a big double page spread yesterday. I showed up.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's awesome stuff, man.
Which, as the marketing person, I have my reservations to show too much, but we are gonna sell some of the. We're gonna sell some of the bacon.
It's time to start showing some of this stuff to people. Yeah. So you know, we got to start showing the sequentials. You know, we ain't gonna show everything because we want something for launch, but. Everyone out there, Skits is a book about a guy who can't tell the difference between his dreams and reality. Boom. That's it,
If you
man.
want to play that intro video.
You want to hit that video.
Absolutely. Real quick, I do want to address, we got Diller Draws in the chat. Hail, bro. He says, yeah, I agree with Skits. If you didn't grow up watching Dino Riders, you probably gay. Dino Riders. That's good shit, too. All right, let's check this amazing video out here.
So there was some wiggles going on. See those wiggles going on? We were doing a little head bobbing and all that.
Yeah, man, we're getting on it, man. We're getting on it.
But yeah, so that was our spring launch with Skits, as far as like one of the newest videos that we had, working with Verse Films Productions with that one. So thank you very much to
doing
them.
The music in house, getting it done, laying the beats down, just like old Fragga.
Yeah, let's show some of the new work so we can wow and amaze people. If that's okay with you, Adam.
Yeah, Sporky News Podcast can't stay, but hitting like to support. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh, sport.
I do. Joe King says, Skits so hype in the morning. I need more caffeine. Yeah, if these two can't wake you up, you've got problems.
Yeah, man.
All right, so you got you ready to screen share?
Yes.
Yeah, ready when you are.
There we go.
Some new stuff. New.
Yeah, we'll pop up some newer stuff. I don't know if we actually showed the team last time we were on here. Did we show the team? The whole team?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So we'll just run through the cast of characters here right quick. On the far, starting from left to right, because we're in America, we read left to right. So on the left, you got MC. That's the big guy. He's about double the size of your average man, about 12 feet tall. He's a
you
big.
are aware in Canada it's left to right too, by the way, right?
Is it?
Saying.
Well, you're in America still, yes?
Yeah, you're
not?
in America.
I don't know. It depends when you guys are talking. Sometimes we're not. I don't know.
No, man, we're all part of the same landmass. We are all lovers. We are here and we love all of our North American.
Get out of here, Dispucci.
I'm just messing with you guys.
Get out of here, Dispucci.
Man, I didn't think that's what it's going to take to get everybody triggered, but all right.
All right, so you got MC there on your left, and then next to him is Skits, obviously, because he's in a straitjacket. That's old Skits. And then you got
Hattie Mae.
The little girl there is Hattie Mae. And then next to Hattie Mae is Som. That's S-O-M. And then next to Som is Josephine. That's the character that most people like, I guess.
She's got wiggles.
Yeah, she's got wiggle.
She looks like she's got some bounce.
She's got wiggles and bounce.
Got some bounce.
Hattie Mae is a Spitfire, just FYI. So she will be bringing some pain.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
These are cool. I like those designs. The big dude especially. That's really cool. When I seen this concept art, I think I seen it on one of your Twitters. Yeah. I guess I didn't take into account that these were like to scale. So the big brute is, I mean, he is a big motherfucking brute.
He's the heavy.
Yeah,
he's the heavy.
Yeah, I mean, a big guy does big guy things, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's awesome. And before we went through images like this, just to kind of refresh people, this is concept art, but you'll actually be seeing stuff like this in the book, So this is a lot of fun going on here. And again, here's
this page. You were working on this page the last time we talked.
Oh, okay. So we didn't actually show this. Yeah, this is a page from the book. This is a splash page here.
Splash.
Yep. And this is pencils. Basically what I do is I turn all my pencils into inks, and I'm clean enough with my pencils that I can actually do that. So, yep.
That helps save some time. That's good.
Yeah, and the thing is my inking style and my penciling style are completely different, so I can't really ink over pencils, so.
I think you end up with a lot more, that page, going back to it real quick, you've got so much detail in there.
That
that's how you get that detail. It's absolutely stunning stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of mark making, man. A lot of parallel line technique right there. It's there's a lot to that. And we showed this before. It's some nice, beautiful color work that's going to be in the book, and some more concept work there. And
that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that people just really, really love. It's just one of those images that really tell a whole story in itself.
Take that, lumberjack shipyard.
Got your sailors.
Sailor Jack.
Is it a sailor or an airman?
Stop giving shit to Captain Jack.
Captain Fckhead says, I'm still convinced there's doxing happening. Found at least one camera in my house that I'm sure Skits planted. Was it in the bathroom?
No, it was in the toilet.
Oh, I would just like to answer one thing, because Fckhead, you're lucky as fuck. Enjoy your Cowboy Bebop series. He never saw the Cowboy Bebop series. He only knew there was a movie, and he just said he received a set. I'm like, yes.
Enjoy,
dude. He's awesome.
Got his weekend planned out then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is a double page spread. This is the pencils and inks, and I did do a little bit of inking on this. Some of the pages have inking, It's like that's just something that I want to do because I want to get that depth in my work there. So I got inks in the front, pencils in the middle, and then light pencils and washes in the background there.
And this is
something
newest
that we released yesterday on
I've
Twitter.
seen this. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, this is a double page spread for the book. And this is something that we're going to be doing. This piece right here is actually on 22 by 30 paper. And these are going to be sold. They're original art pieces. They're on good, high quality paper. And, it's going to be part of the campaign where we're selling some nice original art right here. It's going to be some of the upper tier stuff, but we're going to have maybe about 5 to 7 of these double page spread art pieces like this that we're going to be selling. So,
and no, he's not saying get over here. He's not saying that. Just letting people know.
No, he might be.
Or he might be.
He don't want them to get away. He's
get over here. Mortal Kombat. Yes,
he's gotten them there with his little whip straps, and he's holding them down, trying to get them from flying away from him.
And take note of the boot. And take note of the straitjacket, because we don't think we mentioned it on your show, but we mentioned it before, and we talked about it before about tiers. We may even have like a straitjacket tier as well as like a boot licking tier, so that'd be really cool to have. So.
Yeah, I'd like a straitjacket tier. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, we actually found a way to get good quality original or
authentic
straitjackets. Yeah. So. We will probably have a few of those for sale. That'll be a little higher tier because those things are not easy to come by, and they are.
But we got a guy. We got a guy.
They're a little expensive too, but we'll see if people are interested in that. I mean, everyone wants a straitjacket, right? I mean, you want that for your wife, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound illegal at all.
No.
Oh, it's fun though. It's fun. Just let me know.
There's something about that page on the cliff that reminds me of Stephen Gamble. He was the artist that did the scary stories to tell in the dark.
Oh yeah. I love those things. I didn't know who the artist was, but I have a few of them at the house. Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, Stephen Gamble was the artist, and this image I don't know what it is about it. Just with the brickwork in there and the root coming off, it gives me those kind of vibes. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I love that sort of stuff anyway. Like I've said before, I'm a huge fan of the horror magazines from the 60s and 70s, creepy, eerie, Vampirella. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that stuff is just right up my alley. I love that stuff. Bernie writes, and I'm a huge Bernie Wrightson.
And me, I'm all about the horror stuff. I have a horror production company. So, it fits right on in, too. So, yeah.
Man, I'm pumped about this book. I cannot wait to get this in my hands.
Well, thanks a lot. We're doing the best we can. We're trying to do a good quality campaign for everybody, to get people excited. It's like we wanted to be something that's almost on the verge of being fine art, that's kind of the quality that we're going for with this. And we started releasing, panels, the pencils for the panels in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So we figured we'd show some of that. This is actual panels from the book.
There's that bootlicking tear.
Yep. And these are just all taken with my phone. I mean, I haven't even scanned these in and cleaned them up yet. So, but it just shows people, that there are sequentials going on. There is stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, because I think that was one thing I was giving you shit for the last time you were on, is that you didn't have any like real sequentials to show. You were just showing like the concept art and stuff, which I love your concept art. I think it's absolutely beautiful work. But like, I'm like, give me some fucking sequentials, man.
Yeah, we want you to want it more, Adam. Want it more.
You guys are masters at teasing.
Oh man, you gotta keep it going, man. You gotta build it. Building is everything, man. Yeah. This is a real nice sequential panel of the city right here. I really enjoyed this one.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of interesting perspective work on these panels, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a traditional artist by trade, so my background is Renaissance style painting and sculpting. So I mean, I love doing, perspectives, 1, 2, 3 point perspectives, whatever. And really, I want to show off the scenery. It's not only about the characters, it's also about where it's taken place. Mm-hmm. So that's really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, the environment is as much part of the story as anything.
Exactly.
A lot of my favorite stories come. Well, yeah, a lot of my favorite stories are, where the environment is almost essentially a character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the book itself.
That's exactly how this is. The environment is a character. It's a part of it. You can't have one without the other, basically.
And that's part of my job as an editor, is to make sure that everything flows well, because then we don't want you to get confused, like as to, wait, what happened? You know what I mean? It needs to have a basic flow, and even the environment takes precedence, just like a character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that I feel like that's got to be even more difficult with your story concept of the fact that he can't tell the difference between reality and dream. So his dreams and reality flow together.
You'll find that out in the book.
Yeah, people keep asking, is it a dream? Is it reality? Are you going to be able to tell the difference? And it's like, no. When you find out what's going on, it's going to hit you over the head like a bag of bricks. That's the whole point. It's like once you figure it out, once it hits you, you're just like, what? And that's really what we wanted to do with this thing.
This is one of the series that Michael does on our SKITS comic YouTube channel, so find us there. He did a tutorial, and he did a tutorial with this to show people from scratch. I mean from
did
top
all of this
to bottom,
live.
everything from scratch live, just to show people, hey, it's not as that hard as you think, but this is something that we want to get people involved with us, because we don't want people to just wait in the sidelines waiting for the book. We want people to be engaged with us, so that way they can be like, oh yeah, I remember this page when he did live, like, oh yeah, I remember this, because that way it gives a more of a direct feeling for the consumer.
Yeah, and I also wanted to show people that, if they want to, they can do this at home, man. There's no secret to this. All you got to do is just sit down and do it. You get 10, 15 pieces under your belt, and then you got something going, and it's starting to look really good. I mean, it's not hard to do this sort of stuff if you just practice. That's all there is to it. And I was just wanting to show people, like, here's how you do concept art, but then you can turn it right into actual panels in your comic book. It ain't that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. So that's at SKITS YouTube, SKITS comic.
Yep. And I think we'll end on this one right here.
That's Adam's Lovejoy right there.
Yeah. And I just dropped the link to your channel in the chat, so anybody listening, make sure you go over there and subscribe so you can follow along with the production of this book.
Thank you, and get more Lovejoys like this.
Yep. There you go. All right, so we'll leave it at that for today, showing people some art and stuff.
Awesome. So do you guys have a launch date yet? Anything in mind?
Soon, yes. SOON. Soon. Very soon.
Very soonish.
Very soon-ish.
Yeah, we're waiting. Still doing pages every day and coloring and stuff, but we're trying to get some variant cover stuff done, and that'll be a big surprise for everyone. Wait till you see what we got for variant.
Ooh.
Which brings us into my question mark for
got a big
today. And thank you guys so much. And thank you, Adam and Sim and Mr. A, the Drew Love. Later today, when we're done actually with you guys, at 12 Eastern, which is 9 a.m. on the West Coast, I'm dropping someone that's going to be coming to come get some live. And it is a big get, at least for us. So it may not be a big get for you, but it's a big get for us.
I mean, it's a big name.
It is a big name.
Academy Award-winning
person.
Yes.
Whoa. Academy Award-winning person.
Academy person.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
Academy. Yep. So we're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
You guys and your damn teases, I swear to God.
I know. So check it out. We will be dropping it. So it's all good. It's all good.
Cap says I signed up.
It's coming very soon, Captain. Very soon.
Soon.
We'll end up doing, if you're on the mailing list, you're going to find out when the date is before anybody, because we got to, give something to those types of people. But then, we're going to do a countdown on the Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that, where we do like, so many days down, and then it boom blows up. But people really need to get on that mailing list, because we got so many good things. We're going to have discount on day one, and we're going to have a special tier for people who were on the mailing list. And it's something that no one else is going to be able to get.
No one.
It's going to be really, really cool. It's a special thing that we've worked on, and we bound it up, and we've made a special packaging. I mean, it's going to be cool.
You see the chicken head? No one.
It's going to be awesome. So you definitely need to get on that thing.
Exactly.
And what's the format going to be for this book? Page count? Are you doing, saddle stitch, perfect bound?
Perfect bound, and it's going to be 60 plus pages.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
So good, decent graphic novel size.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, see, everything's already written out, and we got 6 books planned. And the problem I ran into is I had to take the script, and when I started doing it for pages and stuff like that, it ended up being like 90 pages, and I had to trim some stuff out. And that's when the editor comes in. It's like, hey, you don't really need this part. You can kind of throw that away and maybe come back to it. So we got it down to, 60 plus pages. So it's going to be really, really nice.
So it is going to be well worth the wait, and well worth the value that we're giving it to everyone. And we just cannot wait. I mean, we are on pins and needles when we do launch, and when we do, you're going to be really excited, and you're going to be like, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Since the book's all about the artwork and the way it looks, we're real, we got a tiers for every person where people will be able to get original art, because myself, I'm an original art guy, and I buy a lot of books from over in Asia and stuff like that from a lot of those artists. And whenever I get their books, I love their books, but they do the drawings inside the book and stuff like that. And EBS has done this too. He's got that drawing in there, and it's really awesome.
The head sketches.
For me, it's like, man, I want to take that piece of artwork and hang it up and do something with it, So I'm going to be having a tier, that's about at that level where it's actually on a nice piece of original art paper. And you can just pull it out, you can hang it up, you can do whatever you want.
Not
with it,
folded, not crumpled, not. It's just.
And then all the pages, you're going to have artwork for the pages. It's like we got 60 plus pages of artwork that we're going to be selling. So
in other words, you guys are just going to get a lot of good stuff with our book, and we're really excited. We want to thank everyone who supported us so far, being on the mailing list. We thank you very much. But if you have other friends, other people that don't know about it, please share it, because this is it's big for us. I mean, it's been in the works for many years, and so we're really excited. Yeah.
Excellent. Fuck yeah.
Excellent. Fuck yeah.
Wiggle says no Twitter for me. I don't work well with birds. Well, make sure you're signed up to the mailing list and subscribe to their channel. You can keep up with them that way.
Yep.
Subscribe to.
Do you YouTube. Insta? You can find us on
Wiggle's
Insta.
On there. We've seen Wiggle.
But yes.
Well, good stuff. I'm so hyped for this book. It's not even funny. I just want it. I want it now.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, we're really appreciative for all that. You know, I mean, the community's been, all CG has been really nice to us, having us on their
Everyone's
shows
been really
and
everyone.
promoting. I mean, Nick's like every day he's putting it out there for us. It's like, dude, man, thank you so much. You don't have to do it every day, but we certainly appreciate it, man. You know,
yeah, Nick's the best. He does so much work for Comicsgate and these awesome books.
Oh, we also had our first fan art.
Yeah.
We had someone
Really?
did fan art for the book that hasn't even come out yet, which I love.
Tony Sizzle. He brought a picture of Hattie Mae, man. He posted up on there. I shared it out. I was like, dude, this is also my first fan art.
I know. The book hasn't come out yet.
Actually, I'm gonna have to say our first fan art was actually Shay Zombie. She did a hand turkey.
Oh, the hand turkey.
SKITS. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got to give props out to her. She was our first fan art, and then Tony Sizzle brought a drawing of one of the characters. So that was awesome.
That's really exciting when you see other people getting, hyped on your book to that level where they're like, I want to draw something based on your character.
Yeah, we actually were talking about this the other day, or over the couple of days, that we may even have a part in the book where it's just pages of fan art so people can actually see it, and we're hoping to see if we can get that happening, because it was amazing. We really appreciated Tony Sizzle for doing that. So shout out.
Hell yeah. I love the fan art sections in some of these books. And kind of like going back to Wiggle Wiggle here, who isn't on the Twitters and might not get to actually see that stuff unless you print it in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly. And anybody else out there that wants to do more fan art, we just showed you the team. Follow us on Twitter. You can see the team there. We'll love to see what you come up with. Because that's part of our, do you want to have fan art pages in a book? Because I think it's special. And it's also, let's share this. You've got skill.
Yeah.
Show it.
One of the coolest things, back when I was actually reading comic books on a weekly basis, all the books, they had like the letters pages and you put the fan art and stuff like that. And I remember I used to send some stuff to the Spider-Man pages. And when Todd McFarlane did his last book of Spider-Man, which I think was number 16, issue 16 of Spider-Man, he put it in a section there. He thanked all the different people that had written to him and done art and stuff like that. And my name is like number 3 on the list or something like that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so if you actually go back to that book, my name was misspelled because it's Siegenthaler, and who knows how to spell that, but it's in there. You can tell it's Siegenthaler, Michael Siegenthaler. So
that's bad, and now that issue means even more to you because you got a little shout out in it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And that's what we want to do for people. It's that issue, like you just said, you said it perfectly. It will mean so much to you when you can actually see your name in there or see your artwork in there, that someone took the time to be like, wow, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. So it's really good.
Yeah. I think thank you pages are really important in these smaller crowdfunded comics, because I've even gotten, before the Comicsgate days, a buddy of mine, he showed me this book that he had got for, I think, off a Kickstarter. And it was this beautiful hardback cover, and in the back it had like the 1,000 people who backed it, all their names on there. And he was like, "Look, my book's in my name's in this book." And I was like, "Damn, that's fucking cool."
Yeah.
And just see him so excited about it, because it shows that we thank you for helping us put this book together. You are now immortalized in this book.
Yeah.
That type of stuff is awesome. And for me back then, like Todd McFarlane, that was before I really got into all the fantasy stuff. He was it for me, he was my favorite artist. And then years later, I ended up working for him, and that was awesome too. It was like, my reliving my childhood dreams or something like that, being able to work with him for a few years. So yeah, that was awesome.
Captain Fckhead says, "Thank you, Art City Comics. I'm not sure what for, but you're welcome." Not sure what he's thanking me for, but thank you. I thank you for your thank you.
Nice. Yeah.
So something that I seen come out yesterday, and I was going to do a video on it, but I figured, why not? We'll just talk about it on the Woke Show. is DC Comics is going to start publishing again without Diamond distributors. Did you guys see this?
Yep, that's a good thing.
This is a very good thing. I think the Diamond needs to go the way of the dodo bird. It really is an unnecessary thing in the direct market, and all it does is really suck profits away from the shops and these companies.
We saw on a Last Match channel that they Diamond was going to reopen around May, possibly again, but
they couldn't keep it. They would, but they couldn't keep it functioning right now. And this is good, but it's also bad.
Well, why do you think it's bad?
Because now it's doing the same thing as all the streaming services. It's like everybody just wants the in, and it was already hard for the LCS to get their books right and stay afloat. Remember, there's returns, there's this, and there's the orders, and keep track of everything that's coming out. So if there's multiple people that they can order from, it's gonna get a bit complicated for the LCS. But on the other side, I think it's fun that people are starting to think about self-fulfilling their own stuff now. Like if you could order DC and just order all your books direct from them, you do cut out the middleman.
But
And Diamond did do a whole bunch of stupid shit to those for exclusivity and to those LCS that ended up closing, because at the end they were getting stuck with they were getting forced to buy overstock to have all those covers and all those new issues, and then decided to go, well, no more returns. And yeah.
What were you saying, Drew?
I was going to say that that DC recently acquired by AT&T is definitely going to change up its business model. And DC's been doing this direct to retail for a while if the retailers want to do that. But the AT&T tends to have that we want to own it all model. So, I would not put it past them that they find some kind of way to control their own product distribution.
I agree with that. We didn't really mention it on any of our shows, but because they were acquired, we knew that they're not going to totally, defunct itself. I mean, there's going to be still some stable work that's out there. So
here's the thing: it's like they need to cultivate multiple avenues of revenue and retail, and the problem is they don't have that right now. They just have one, the direct market. And it's like they should have multiple. Back in the 80s, when I worked at a comic book shop, 80s and early 90s, it was like, dude, man, you had them everywhere. And I think it was probably about 2 or 3 or 4, somewhere around there, they decided to just quit, and, with the newsstand and all that, and just go direct. And it was such a bad idea. I know a lot of the comic book stores were like, yes, we got it, we're number one. But it's like, it killed it. You got to have multiple areas of sale and revenue, and they don't. And this right here, it's saying, okay, well, we got to start changing, but it's still not enough. They need to cultivate multiple avenues. You need to get them everywhere you can. I work as a product developer with some big companies, and it's like that's what they talk about day in and day out. How many other places can we put this? Where can we put this? Where can we sell it? How many places in the store can we put it? I mean, there is all sorts of stuff going on, and it's like, why aren't they doing this? So maybe they're trying.
Because it's just because it's a very, very small percentage of their income. It really is like a fan medium. AT&T is not the type to leave money on the table. But if they could figure out a way to exploit it, they will. I mean, the smart business would be to, have multiple levels of comics and like a quality that's like all back to old school newsprint, all the way up to like really high pristine graphic novel presentation. And as a company, since you have all those tiers, you use the newsprint as the destroyable kinds. So you get those into drugstores, you get those into Walmart on little spinner racks where people look at them and they tear the page and that kind of stuff, because that's what happens. And so those are cheap enough so you can have a high loss on those. And then the other stuff, you focus on the LCSs and the graphic novels, you focus on bookstores and things like Amazon.
Yep. Agree with that. Yeah. Unfortunately, guys, our mobile unit is dying, so we are going to have to bow out.
Well, hey, thank you guys so much for coming on. It's a pleasure as always. Please come back again soon, preferably when your book is actually launched, so I can buy it.
Oh,
No, I love you guys. Best of luck to you, and I hope we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Cool beans.
Thank you so much, man. We love being on here. We love being with you. And thank you. We will always come on whenever you want us, man. This is great. We love being here.
At 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning, man.
It's Adam's time. Get off of Adam's time.
That's right. Get out of my time slot.
Yeah,
and Sim, we'll see you later on your show. Yeah.
Later. Yes, of course. You're always welcome, you know, and Skits is always welcome to come on Doodle and Chill. He knows that.
Oh yeah, man. Sometimes you post it up and it's like at a time that I can't, you know, it's like Sunday.
But that's why right now we're trying on Sunday because Saturday was too hard for most artists to show up. So we're trying on Sunday at 6 p.m.
Yeah, Sundays we got church and
day of rest. We don't want to be.
Hey, I don't like working on Sundays, but
and Mr. E, we got to get on your channel sometime, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can say we want to rock. Cool beans, guys. Thank you so much. And don't forget, I'm going to be shouting out that big announcement in about 40 minutes.
Ooh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Thanks, guys, so much.
Right. Love you guys. Have a great day.
Bye. Woo!
So much fucking hype out of those two.
Dude, I'm sure their coffee was 10 scoops.
Captain Fckhead says, I just want you to know someone somewhere appreciates what you do. Bro.
Hell, bro.
Bro. Love. Much love. Muskie Elon, hail. He says, it's odd that they call a monopoly the direct market. It is the opposite. Buying directly from the creator is the direct market. I want to see comics back in supermarket and 7-Elevens. Yeah, that's basically what Drew was just saying there with getting the newsprint back, the newsstand edition.
That was one of the problems, though, is the fact that to keep that going, you need to be able to withhold or losses and returns. Because I got a few friends that tried to still sell in with the magazines there, and all those. The corner stores and market, sure. And they had a lot of returns back, and the returns are usually not resellable.
Yeah.
It's
not for everybody, but these bigger corporations can spend a couple extra bucks, for these newsstands editions like that. I mean, they did it for decades.
Those they should be able to, but the thing is that's the thing that Diamond did. They wanted to kill that market so they could just have it in LCS.
I think that's the wrong idea, though. I think we should be getting these books.
Well, dude, I started reading. Most people found their first comic in a fucking corner store or a gas station or something in one of those racks.
7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Well, and the comics that you'd get at 7-Eleven were like not the high quality, and they were like really, really cheap paper.
Exactly.
It was if you were a collector, that's not what. Yeah, you were not wanting that. You were wanting to go to the comic book store and getting, and then obviously the ones on the rack were,
remember for a while, like the one you would get in the store or something like that had the Marvel logo in that square, and if you get them in a gas station or something, you had a code bar, a barcode.
Yes.
Instead of that Marvel thing. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how you knew.
Yeah. Let's see. Wiggle is asking you for a link. I don't know what to, though. What do you need a link for, bro? Let us know. We'll get you a link to wherever you need to go.
I'll send it to you as soon as I have it. You let us know what it is.
So back to the article here. DC has announced plans to resume limited release of new comic books on Tuesday, April 28th. They say after surveying over 2,000 North American stores, the publisher has announced plans to resume releasing a trimmed-down line of titles, which will also be released simultaneously on DC's usual digital platforms. Now, this is what I think is interesting, is what they've decided to start releasing here. So the new era kicks off Tuesday, the 28th, with 3 new issues of Daphne Byrne #4, The Dreaming number 20, and Batman Giant number 4, along with planned reprints of Batman number 89 and Nightwing 70. Now, why wouldn't you think that if you're going to come back from this hiatus, wouldn't you want to put your best foot forward?
Not necessarily. They feel like they might want to just test it out and see if it's there's a lot of approaches that CEOs take based on poor information. You know what I mean? They don't have like their finger on the pulse of the market like we do. They're not actual fans.
Yeah, but keep in mind they also want to keep they also want to kill the old characters and bring in the new ones. So yeah.
I don't know. I just looking at this list. Even after the next one on the and another thing that I noticed is that these are all on Tuesday. They apparently New Comic Book Wednesday is going to be a thing of the past, at least in DC's mind. So on the May 5th, they're bringing back Batman and the Outsiders number 12, The Flash number 753, The Green Lantern season 2 number 3, Hawkman 23, along with House of Whispers number 20 and Joker Harley Criminal Sanity number 4. A facsimile edition of DC Superstars number 17 will also be released on this date. So they're definitely not, no Superman whatsoever. Of course, yeah, you got some Batman, but not the main title. No Detective Comics, no Action Comics. It's just really weird to me to see their choices here. On the 12th, they're expecting Harley Quinn number 72, which is weird that's up to 72 already.
It looks like they're not trying to hype their characters or their main series that were hits. They're just trying to, we still have some stuff here that we need to liquidate and get some attention, and let's present you our new characters, because this is everything that's been happening. Remember?
Yeah.
Like they did all their collected edition of all the classic Kirby and everything so far, and right now they're not really interested.
They don't have finished stuff to print, so they're reprinting stuff because people don't have fresh artwork anymore. Plus, they're going to be cutting back. That's the most obvious part of this article that stands out to me, is that they're going to be cutting back their releases, which means that they're going to be letting a lot of artists go.
Oof. That's even worse news than, that's real pencils down. That's pencils down for good for a lot of people.
To be honest, they already got rid of all their good artists, and right now they just have to illustrate. What do you call it again? Tumblr
art, yeah. Oh, this is just, I feel like this is just the beginning of the end for DC.
If they weren't owned by AT&T, I might agree with you, but AT&T can squeeze water out of a stone. So
yeah, but I feel like this is they're going to be doing away with the actual our weekly comic book releases. I think is what this is going to come down to. They're going to go to a graphic novel format, which they talked about years ago.
They're probably going to bring back the subscription model, is what I would assume. If they're going to go direct to consumer, they'll bring back the subscription model.
Yeah, but don't forget that DC right now, okay, it's been in their fucking plan since the get-go, since when they started their new what's it is again, DC Universe, whatever it is.
The streaming service.
Yeah, their streaming service. When you sub to them, you can have full access to their TV series, to their movies, and their comic book library.
Yeah, but their comic book library is shit.
Yeah, but they were talking about putting everything in there, especially with what was happening now. So that's probably what's happening. They're probably gonna go full digital. And as you guys have noticed, IDW has been printing IPs from Marvel and DC. So we all know what's going on. They're not gonna be printing books anymore. They're gonna start to rent IPs, and just right now they're trying to technically get away from the big brand and IP that made DC and trying to set up their new teams like Marvel are doing. New version of Cyclops, new version of everything.
Oh, this makes me
That's
so
that's what
mad.
it sells. That's what it looks to me. It's like, hey, let's give you some stuff, so you still have a fix and you like superheroes, right? But not our best shit. And like Mystery said, I'm pretty sure they're gonna start invading. Like you're gonna have like some printed shit, and the rest is gonna like every week you're gonna have new shit coming out.
If I don't get my fucking 3 Joker
And
series
digital,
by the
yeah.
end of the year, I am going to riot.
Like,
I have been waiting for 3 Jokers to come out for 5 fucking years, and then
Is
this
it a
damn
riot when it's just you?
all their comics.
I will. It will be a riot.
All their fucking comics are gonna end up being like fucking Titan Go and that Thundercats Row.
Yeah, the Thundercats Roar.
Roar was it Roar?
Roar.
I think it was
it's Roar.
ROA Roar. Yeah.
Raw.
I wasn't sure if it was a roar.
Thundercats roar.
No, I do see them moving towards more teen publishing.
Dude, you're having like people that are like 45 acting like they were fucking kids in kindergarten. The fuck. And that's leading DC and Marvel. So, please. This is stupid. It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're like competing.
That
against,
kind of
like,
thing pisses me off.
Apparently. There's
For
like
what?
all kinds of drama going over on Liam's channel.
Like me, I believe that, we should have all type of comics. You should have Thundercats Roar for people that like it. And we should have real fucking Thundercats for people that like the original shit.
Yeah, I love Thundercats. It was one of my favorites. When I saw what they did to Thundercats, I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this?
Not just that, dude. Do you remember that fucking when they did the remake of it?
In what, 2011?
With Norton, one of my friends was fucking like the art designer, the character designer in there, the art director. Dude, that series was awesome, and the guy was pissed because they were a fucking hit, and they just decided to cancel. And after a year or two, here you go. Here's that Thundercat Roar, yeah, horror. Thundercat Horror should be it. Yeah, there you go. That was stupid.
I don't understand. I really don't understand why they did that, because like you said, the series that came out in like 2011, they did like 1 or 2 seasons of was awesome.
Dude, that series they did after of He-Man. Remember the remake of He-Man?
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking epic too.
Yep.
And they canceled it after season 2. And now we're getting those gender bender cartoons.
Not my cup of tea, man.
Yeah, you could tell who's controlling media by just the kind of content that's presented. You know what I mean? It's like you can see how it like was, once Hollywood was definitely dominated by a Jewish market for a long time, the longest time, and that wasn't not a racial thing or anything, but
for a while it was Italian. Remember?
Well, they had a lot of culture and stuff like that you see come out in the movie, and the actors that they chose and the scripts that they chose. You know what I mean? We're reflecting a lot of that. I mean, it was a lot of, and it was also New York. It also was expanded on that same thing, and then over the years, the market has been dominated by a liberal element. You know what I mean? I've been in Hollywood, and I live right here in California, so I've been to Hollywood a lot, and it's really interesting how it's what you call sellout culture. You know what I mean in the industry, and what that is basically if you are if what they want, if you want to get somewhere in the industry, without coming up with a brilliant idea that everybody wants, you know what I mean? If you want to work your way up, you got to make a large degree of compromises. And, people don't talk about it, but the whole Henry Weinstein, Me Too stuff, all that kind of thing, that ain't going away. And you know what I mean? And that stuff still happens, even on the boss to employee level, intern level, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's, so a lot of that kind of world, let's say if you're doing that world for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years and worked your way up, right? You're going to have a philosophy of that's how it works, and you're going to approach everything that way, and it's going to warp your mentality, and that's the people that run that shit. So,
hey, we got Ink Spots is finally awake. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ink Spots. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
I mean, of course, not everybody, but there's some people that are actually pretty decent in the industry, but they came up the good way. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, James Cameron. You know, he had some extremely successful films, so he can produce, you know, stuff that, you know, is continue to be high quality. Another person, obviously, George Lucas. You know what I mean? He could do things his own way, and people would fucking bow to him. You know, but you know, outside of those kind of heroes,
Yeah, those are few and far between these days because everybody they'll elevate anybody. You know, there's no such thing as merit anymore.
I wouldn't say anybody, because there's a lot of people who deserve to be elevated that aren't. They're actually held down, kind of like what we experience at Comicsgate with the comic market a little bit. You know what I mean? How like they, you know, like try to make sure nobody knows that we exist. You know, that's weird.
Yeah. Wiggle Wiggle asked, did Thundercucks get canceled yet? I don't think so.
You know what it is. The idea is out business them. They want to flood the market with all type of shit, so people don't notice the good ones, and then they only advertise the big hits. If you were noticing what they were doing, they were just throwing all type of books, and then they announced their black label, which was like, here's our creme de la creme, and buy those every fucking month, please.
Well, and that didn't even last very long.
No.
Yeah, I mean, even before the shutdown, they weren't keeping up with the schedule that they had originally intended upon. I never read it, but everybody said that Superman series by Frank Miller and JR was trash. So I mean, even that ended up being way more lackluster than the hype they put behind it.
To be honest, the only thing that I was still buying from them, like, you know, I'm a Frank Miller guy, right? So I still wanted that book, even though I've been hearing that it's shit. Like, I bought the Master Race Dark Knight DK3 there.
Yeah, I bought that too.
It's shit.
Yeah. Well, and that was
original. It's just fun. Like, I like the art that Kubert did in there. He tried. He did a good job.
And that was that book, because I bought the hardcover edition of that because I wanted it pretty much just for my collection.
Yeah,
but it was story idea by Miller, and then Brian Azzarello was the one who actually wrote the series, and it didn't have any punch to it.
Yeah, the writing is okay. The storytelling is good from, you know, the art side, but the story is shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
dude, it's men is shit, women are everything. I don't know where that came from. Again, it's weird. It's like, what the fuck happened to people completing each other? Like, it's the simplest way of saying it. It's like, one person's one way, then you meet that other person that's just like different, and when you're together, you know, there you go, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like, who would have thought that fucking movie would be like something we would use right now and going, this is how it should be done. You guys did it right back then. Mrs. and Mrs. Smith, they're two fucking killers. They're married. They know nothing about each other. When they find out they get spin against each other, they realize that when they're together, they're fucking unstoppable. Like,
yeah, that was a damn good movie.
It's not about because I have a dick. It's not because this. It's not about emasculating or womanizing, or it's not about this. It's about the best of the fucking best. And when you put those two together, they're like, ha, fuck you. Come at thee. And dude, come on, that scene was epic.
Oh, when they first started fighting each other.
When they fight, yeah, and the house is all fucking wrecked, and then people come in and they just look at each other. Huh.
Yeah, after they've had sex.
Their world. Yeah. Dude, that scene was awesome. And it's rare, and the only reason why that movie was so powerful is because that was it. It was not about just like, oh, that guy this, that guy that. Oh, she's so this. No, dude, they were two fucking assassins. Top of the fucking top. Not because she was a girl or no, dude. And remember, it was a girls' team hating the guys. and they just went, you know what? Fuck your shit there. Fuck your shit there. We're doing this. And it was the merge that made them stronger. And that was the entire fucking message of it. Stop fighting for male. Stop fighting this. Stop your fucking penis envy. Stop your cunt envy. And fucking get along. We're supposed to be teamworking this shit. I'm sorry.
Feel better?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, good.
Dude, I'm raising boys and girls. You know, I have 4 kids at home. 2 boys, 2 girls. That's why that type of shit pisses me off, guy.
Well, yeah, because you see in the public, they're basically trying to pit your kids against each other.
Yeah, and dude, you get to know my boys a bit more than the girls. You know a bit about the girls, but you get to know a bit the boys. Logan's 18, Nat's 15 in 2 days, and the boys, you have one is really like a bit more of a macho, a bit like I'm the man, and the other one is a bit more soft, right? You could say Nat. The girls, there's one that's tomboy, and dude, she'll wreck a guy if the guy fucking touch her butt. She'll wreck his day. Punch him in the fucking nose. Side kick the fucker. And you have the little one that's like the little princess. She's the adorable. I'm like, people are people, and it's working together that makes us stronger. It's fucking annoying.
Okay, Hillary, stronger together.
No, Hillary is not stronger together. It's a female is the future, guy. And I ain't a Hillary bitch.
Skid says, "Hail, guys! Sorry we had to dip out. We love Art City Comics. Love you too. It's all right. We got to hang with you. We got to pimp your book, show off some awesome art, and well, yeah, that's about it. We do have a question from Wiggle Wiggle. It says, can you explain what in demand means?
In demand is technically a store. It's when the funding is done and you technically go, okay, I'm successful, but I'm gonna leave it in demand either for extra stock or while you're finishing your book. So this is what in demand is. It's like it's like a open store until you're technically done, or like Vinny is keeping them open like a store.
Or Captain Love.
Yeah, mine's in demand also. In demand is a thing that Indiegogo does when your campaign finishes and you want to extend it because your book is, or your product or whatever is in demand. So they just keep it going until I believe it. I haven't checked the thing in a while, but I think it was, if you don't have a sale in 30 days, then it shuts down automatically.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
And keep in mind that there's
I haven't run into that yet. Thank God.
And keep in mind that when you back a book and on in demand, there's no refund button. Doesn't work. You need to contact the guy, and just so you know. It's true.
It's true. Good point.
When you're that's the biggest difference. Like when you're in campaign, you can go and refund.
Yeah, you can just automatically refund.
But you can't when you're in demand because it's technically funding's done. It's finished. It's closed, and now we're opening a store. Yeah.
When are you shipping?
Starting to print in a week or two. Then I'm starting to ship. So at the end of the month and during May.
Oh, I got tingles when you said that.
That dude, he's halfway done through the lettering the second chapter. I'm just waiting for Steve to go through the edit there, so give him the final go. And Steve is gonna be doing the print file and the PDF for the digital. So
sweet.
And you know that I got my printer here, but also check for backup. If something happens with fulfillment or anything, I have Plan B and Plan C.
That's good. That's a good place to be. Definitely make sure you got backup plans.
Oh, dude, if I can print here and ship them to you, I've told you, like I've organized that I can probably ship from Mix'em and ship it to somebody on your side of the fence so they can start fulfilling for me over there.
Works for me. I'd love to have a big old fucking huge stack of Blood Hunt books in my house.
There you go.
Adam be at the grocery store. Buy my Blood Hunt book right now.
Hell yeah, I'll load them up in a backpack.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it's gonna be great.
If we don't have Comic-Con, I'll just sell them at the grocery store.
Right. You guys hear about that? Comic-Con San Diego got canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I knew this was coming. This was honestly like not breaking news in my mind by any means. They've canceled everything at this point.
Right. Every con. That's exactly. Pretty much. Next weekend, next Saturday, I'm supposed to be doing an online con. I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, it's like Confiscate's constantly one big online con, so I'm like always doing that. But yeah, I we'll see. This is like actual like convention people, and they're all their audiences and they're promoting. So I might be able to grab some new fans and pull them our way.
Yeah, I keep saying that when this shit is done, and if the CG con is not like a con, or it doesn't happen for everybody to be there, right? I still say that some of us creators should plan and go take over a Comic Con.
Yeah, just everybody kind of invade.
Yeah, we just go there. We collectively, rent the fucking place and tables, and we just fucking take over. Like, hey, welcome
we
to
could just
CGCon.
we could just pool our money to do a con at like one of the major large scale cons. We could just pool our money and get a large area and bring a lot of creators there who threw in, and then pretty much let it be an introduction to CG. You know what I mean?
That wouldn't be a bad idea either, and it might be
I've
a little bit more
been suggesting that for a while,
feasible.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's something that I was suggesting for a while. It's something we could even crowdfund, but you know what I mean?
We've discussed it. It's been discussed a lot. I think it's a good idea, but the only problem, it's always like, who's going to get paid to go there? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that?
No. That's why crowdfunding doesn't work, because then it's going to be who it is. It's the pulling money and having people put their money in. That is the real way to make that happen, because then it's not about who does it. It's like, you put your money in. All right, come on over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of having to get on Artist Alley as an indie producer, you can have a big area labeled Confiscate. Everybody's gonna walk up, what the fuck is Confiscate? And then you'll have you might even have people like, I hate you, Confiscate, motherfucking Nazis. But we aren't Nazis. You know what I mean?
That was the idea of buying a big kiosk in one of those huge freaking con, because we still need to represent there. But I do agree that having a CG con would be really awesome.
The CG con will be cool.
I used to do the Montreal Fantasticon here, for the last 4 years. Yeah.
Although I kind of agree with the people who are actually organizing the CG Con on the fact that I don't think the CG audience itself could support the costs of that kind of con, because you got to realize that there's a convention rental hall and insurance and just all kinds of other bullshit. So
yeah,
you got to really spread it. You got to spread it across a lot of people.
Yep, like here you. It's stupid, but I know you guys have that over there. But lottery thing here, it's governmental, right? So it's called Loto Québec. So when you're doing a con here, like a really big con, you kind of have to give money to that side too, because it's considered entertainment. There's a lot of things that people are not aware about organizing big events. That's all
Yeah.
That's why I agree with
I think the best, and it's obviously it's something we can definitely wait for, but what's the next big con? New York Comic Con? You know what I mean?
Or San Diego or something.
San Diego's canceled. San Diego's canceled. Yeah. So since it's canceled,
I don't know what would be next in line.
It would be a good test ground to go take over a con out of nowhere. Comicsgate's here, then maybe launch a con. Type of.
Well, the thing is that can go over wrong, because you're talking about a fucking large number of uncontrolled, who knows what their motivation is, kind of people claiming that they're Comicsgate coming and making a noise. You know what I mean? That I see that as the antis can come and just really fuck it up, But if we have a fucking booth and that kind of stuff, the antis start fucking it up, we can tell the security, hey, look, you know what I mean? And I don't mean like a little 10-foot table. I mean like one of those huge fucking huge areas. Because seriously, we could come out with a large scale publisher area as Comicsgate. You know.
And to answer Wiggle, it's not that it's easier in the States. It's just the size of the con. It changes status if it becomes it becomes a the insurance and it. You have draws. You have this. You're gonna cons have more than just sellers. So that's why there's the government here in Canada. You can get a funding from the government. You get tax deduction. It's just the way you're doing it and the size of it. It's just
there are a lot of moving parts.
You need a lawyer to take care of that shit too, and maybe even two to set it up properly. And that when we're talking about a big ass con, like not just doing like Me Fantasticon, which was a bit smaller. We don't get more than 2,500 people coming a day. Versus somebody that has over 56 to 100,000 people coming in the door, like Montreal Comic Con. That one's big as fuck, but those have to pay a lot of money, a lot of thing on everything to the government, and it goes with the lottery, this. It's a bit more complicated than just organizing a con.
It's a lot more complicated. Or organizing a con itself is
There's the insurance for just the insurance for the cosplays now, with their plastic guns. Now you have to have people checking them, and
yeah, they're not allowed to bring those here.
Here you have to search a Nerf gun because people have put a plastic thing in Nerf guns and hurt people.
They're not allowed to bring them. They're not allowed to bring a Nerf gun. They're not allowed to bring a real wooden bat like Harley Quinn uses. That's not allowed. There's a lot of things like that are just not allowed because they are actual weapons.
Yeah, it just becomes a danger.
Yeah, but yet in there you could buy a baseball bat, you can buy a sword, you can buy a knife.
Not at the cons here. I mean, at a different kind of convention. Yeah,
really,
you can buy a knife, like a gun show, that kind of stuff. Knife conventions, yeah. But
here, Comic Con and the Fan Expo, you go there, you have medieval swords and this and that. You can buy all the fuck you want. You can get you could even buy.
We have Renaissance fairs for that.
We have those too.
We have those too, but just when you go to Comic Con, they're all there too.
Damn.
That's weird.
Fucking Canada, I think, might be doing it right or wrong. I'm not sure.
We have everything. When you go there, you have like a medieval corner. Like one of the things that I like it changed. Comic Con used to be way better, like the one in Montreal, because you had a horror section. Like the con was divided in 3, and you could have access to everything. Now it's just here's the sellers and here are the actors. Before you used to have a horror section. You used to have a manga section, and you used to the anime and everything, and they used to try and please every geek. Now they just want to buy the stars and promote their the movie stars and the series star, which is freaking ridiculous.
So did you guys happen to stumble across this during the week? Our men are fucking us too much. Ghanaian woman, tired of too much sex, rants in a viral video demanding end of beer virus lockdown.
Yeah, she's just fucking not happy with fucking having sex with her man.
Oh, she's just a fucking retard. Or no, there you go. She's upset because she's menopausing.
No, she's upset because she's fat and lazy, and her man wants to fuck all the time, and he's probably gross.
Let's listen to see what she has to say.
Agreed, wiggle. Those rules are dumb, but usually those rules are made to be done because people want to make money off of your things. That's why.
Oh my God.
Talking about the cons.
Yeah, that's not in English.
Oh, it is not in English.
Sorry. For 3 months.
Well, I'm not listening to 5 minutes of something I can't understand. Let me get this. Does this translate?
You mean without subtitles?
Well, yeah.
You could turn subtitles on.
Some people are angry with the partners they are quarantined with. She's not happy that she wished she would have changed her boyfriend before she got quarantined with him. That's the thing.
Yeah. He's all like, I'm bored as fuck.
You weren't the right one. Now I'm stuck with you. God damn it. Can we just end the quarantine so I can change boyfriend, please?
Yeah, so apparently during the video she calls out the president of Ghana, to end the lockdown with immediate effect because her partner is having too much sex throughout the day. Is it being said that women in Ghana are fed up with the never-ending demand of sex from their boyfriends and husbands?
Wait, that sounds like it's phrased two different ways. Hold on. So is he having lots of sex or are they having lots of sex?
Well, yeah, this is goddamn Aaron Calamari. He was the one who sent me this article. And I don't know if this is the article I should have actually had up, because this is, I don't know if this is just terribly translated or what. But yeah, he says her partner is having too much sex throughout the day. Not they.
Right. Is he like just jerking off and spooging her? Hey, baby, look at this. Woo! Woo! She's all, stop, put your dick away. I'm on YouTube.
So she says in the video, she describes the ordeal saying that not only are the women expected to have sex all the time, but also cook throughout the day, so much that they are physically exhausted of it. But you could kill two birds with one stone, actually.
Let me tell you, if you can cook in the bedroom, you don't have to cook in the kitchen.
But you can also have sex in the kitchen.
I hear a lot of complaining. Dude. Do you complain that you're cooking and taking care of your kid?
No.
Are you complaining like, is it too hard to take care of yourself? And do you? I'm like, dude, people are so pampered, and like, we live in a society where those people wish they could go to an adult kindergarten. Remember that thing I showed you last time?
Oh yes.
Remember, dude, that was ridiculous.
Right, Kitty. So I don't think my mind can process that headline. Yeah, I don't. It does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
She just doesn't want to do effort for nothing, because that's the thing. Right now, everybody's getting into a mentality of a diva. I've been dealing with that with one of my it's like the mentality that they're trying to teach people right now. It's like, you don't have to do nothing.
I mean, I'll admit I've become a little on the lazy side during this whole lockdown thing, but I mean, I still clean up the house, still do the dishes and cook, and
still feed myself, go to the bathroom, take care of the kids, feed them, clean up.
Yeah, and and take care of my wife. Yeesh, this is, oh God.
You don't.
I don't like this. I don't like this woman at all.
You're telling me you didn't start regretting marrying your wife now that you're in quarantine?
No, not at all.
Well, you're doing something good.
That's actually kind of interesting though, because I've often wondered, like, after this quarantine is lifted, like, how many divorces will there be?
Oh, dude.
Of people that have just gotten completely fed up with being stuck with their significant other.
Yeah, but
for
that's a good
long.
example there. It's like, that's what I'm. It's like people are not getting together because they're getting along. Those people are gonna want to kill each other, dude. How many fucking things? That's one of the things. Like, how many people do you think they're gonna have murdered their spouse?
I'm surprised the murder rate hasn't like skyrocketed yet. Actually, in St. Louis, there's still quite a few murders. People are ignoring the quarantine. They're still getting out there and killing each other. So,
well, there may be a lot more murders than we know. No one's found them yet.
Well, that's true. That's true too, Drew. Being on lockdown, it's like, how come I haven't heard from Sally in a while? Oh, she's just
that
depressed.
person died. Corona? Yeah. Corona. But what are all the bruises? Corona.
Those were Corona bruises.
She touched my Corona.
Bruises. It's a virus symptom. Yeah.
Yeah. She fell after she passed out.
Plus, I would also, like, with the coronavirus thing, it's kind of sad that there's probably a lot of people right now in their like studio apartments in New York City laying there dead.
Dude, she died from Corona. Dude, there's an open wound and a broken bottle. I said she died from Corona.
And jizz all over her face.
And the bottle Corona.
I get it. I get the joke.
Okay, so I work out downstairs to do dishes and kind of clean my room. There's other stuff other than fluffing you could do. Other than fluffing? What? What kind of what? All I know is fluffing.
I assume fluffing in the sexual term means, just to like get it hard. So it's like leave them with blue balls if you're just fluffing.
That's rude.
Don't assume too
I'm
much.
not all about that then. I was thinking like a fluffer. You know the term.
That's what
fluffer.
a fluffer does. They get them hard.
Yeah, but so they can
right.
continue
So they can do
elsewhere
with somebody else. Yeah.
Well, this conversation is taking a turn.
You guys are weird.
Like, well, I'll get you hard, but then you got to jerk it off.
That's rude. That's super rude.
That's like going to the stripper. That's why I'm not too much into it.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan.
Until I discovered, on the my 19th birthday, I went to celebrate into the VIP room.
I used to hang out at strip clubs at odd hours, and that's when the real interesting stuff happens.
So for some reason, that doesn't surprise me.
5 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Right after work?
Yeah. Yeah, there used to be a strip club right down from where I used to work, and we'd go hang out after we got off and have some beers. And
dude, they have alcohol, and they usually have decent buffets.
Yeah, don't eat the buffet at a strip bar.
I'm just joking.
Ew. No.
I'm just joking.
Oh, we got buffalo wings here at the strip bar.
It's a thing here though that there was a whole bunch of people that were going to that. There was one strip club. It closed down, right? It was not too far from here. One of the things, every worker, street worker, not street worker, but like construction worker or those blue collar guys, they would all end up into that strip club because they actually had a buffet, if you would go to one of those big buffet restaurants, but with strippers. So, dude, they were loaded as fuck. People.
None of the strip clubs around here that I know of anyway have buffets. Some of them have pretty decent food, but none of them have actual buffets.
Yeah, it was all. When I saw that crap, I went like, "Oh no!" And they're like, "Yeah, and the food's freaking good." I go, "Yeah, but I'm not going."
Now, are your strip clubs actual strip clubs, or are they pasty bars?
They're actual strip club. The girls, there's no pasties.
Okay, because
the girls get naked on the stage, and yeah.
Because so around here on the Illinois side of the river, we have strip clubs. I mean, raunchy, dirty, nasty strip clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But you go over into like St. Louis in Missouri, there are no actual strip clubs. They're pasty bars. They're not allowed to actually get naked.
Every state has different rules. In California, we have the girls can get naked on stage if alcohol is not being served. That's like the rule. And then they make up for it when they have gentlemen's clubs, and those clubs are not public access. You have to have a membership to enter. And you can't bring friends.
So bordellos, got it.
No. They're actual strip bars, but they're fucking wild as fuck, But they do allow once in a while. They allow guest night and stuff like that. But for the most part, you have to be membership.
Here in Montreal, they get naked, right? You can you go to the back dance there in the back.
Yeah, the VIP room.
The VIP. No. There's two differences. That's what I'm trying to say. There's the lap dance part where they're not taking off their undies, but you can touch. You can grab their boobs. You can touch them all you want, right? Just don't touch the private part. You get it? The private part.
Got it.
You can swipe their butt. You can, But when you go to the VIP, that's when.
Yeah, they call that the champagne room here.
Yes, and yes, I had a really great birthday there, and I went there with the mother of my kids too, and that was fucking awesome.
Fuckheads! After you got off, you went to go get off. That seems like a lot of getting off. Well, yeah. I was pretty young at the time. There was a lot of backup. Anywho, I think that's all I had. Other than back Blood Hunt, back Captain Love,
please,
Rise of the Pirate King.
Go
get Volume 1 as well, because you definitely want Volume 1. Mm-hmm. Trust me on that one. I love it.
We'll ship on Monday.
You should get that Vinny cover. If you're choosing one, the wait is worth it. The cover looks awesome.
Yeah, but don't just choose one.
You don't wait if you get the first one. That's the perk, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like you said, shipping on Monday.
Yeah, and I can say, since I'm in Canada, his book got to me within a week and a half about. So it's really good.
Yeah, and it's high quality. I did have one thing that I wanted to sign off on because this may or may not end up with getting the stream taken down. So I figured, well, why not just end on it? So I found this from one Adam Sandler on Twitter, and this is what we're going to leave you guys with.
We're never gonna shake hands again. Even a fist bump will be pretty rare. But we're never gonna shake hands again. If you go for a high five, you're gonna catch air. Say we're never gonna shake hands again. Elbow to elbow will take its place. No, we're never gonna shake hands again. Hugs will feel like you fingered my face. We'll have to settle for nods or a curtsy. I don't do chest bumps, cause those gonna hurt me. Not gonna bow like they do in the South. If you try to kiss my cheeks, I'll smack you in the mouth while wearing a glove, of course. We're never gonna shake hands again. But frankly, girl, boys, that's kind of okay. Cause shaking other people's hands was always super duper weird anyway. You know it's true.
Wow.
That's creepy.
So no more human